back in 1963, after the March on Washington, President Kennedy ordered the D.C. commissioners, there were three. We did not have a mayor then. We had three commissioners running the city. And President Kennedy ordered those three commissioners to do a high-profile job of recruiting and hiring Afro-Americans in professional jobs. And I, as a result, became the recipient of that. I was one of many who were hired from that presidential edict. As a matter of fact, I became the first Afro-American engineering construction inspector for the old Department of Sanitary Engineering. I went to work the first week in September of '63, just 2 weeks following the March on Washington and the presidential edict to the commissioners. I was a direct beneficiary of that, and I kind of had somewhat of a celebrity status because I was the only black engineering construction inspector they had. They since got more, but I was the first one.
So before you tell me more about that,
Yes.
I want to go back to something you just said,
Sure.
which is March on Washington.
Mm-hmm.
Were you part of it? What was your role in it? If you were, what do you remember of that time in Washington and at the march?
I had, I guess, 15 or 20 close friends at that time, and we all decided that we were going to gather at 7th and E Northeast at one of our friends' homes, have breakfast, and then walk to the march site. And we did just that. Long walk from 7th and E Northeast all the way to the Lincoln Memorial. And but we did it, and we made it, and we had a good time. And we were in this classic march down Constitution Avenue once we got our placards and signs. It was a great day. I never, ever will forget it.
Do you remember what your placard said or any of your signs?
Jobs, jobs, jobs. And I didn't know I was going to be a recipient of jobs in the district government. I mean, I hadn't even considered the district government because things were kind of backward back then.
Do you remember the crowd? Do you remember the speeches?
Oh yeah. Crowds were overwhelming. I happened to be, our group, we decided to be on the southwest end of the reflecting pool as close to the steps as we could get. So we were right on the corner of the reflecting pool and the steps in front of the monument. And it was a great day. I never will forget it.
And everyone remembers or recalls the I Have a Dream speech by Martin Luther King Jr. Is that something that stands out most for you or something else?
Well, that stood out as well, but there were other speeches that I thought deserved a lot of merit. Congressman from Georgia.
John Lewis?
John Lewis. I thought his speech was right on time, despite the fact that they made him rewrite it several times before they would accept and let him read it and deliver it. But it was just a great time. A lot of singing and rejoicing, but we had no idea that Martin Luther King was going to give such an epic speech that day. It was all a surprise.